Welcome back to Counterculture. You are still maintaining
my status as Pastor Mark. So far, they haven't got rid of me yet. So
that's amazing. All these years, and it hasn't gone.
I'm just going to say it. Happy birthday, Andy. Early.
Happy birthday, Mark. Early.
We're like a day apart.
We are.
We are.
My mom waited for your mom to birth you.
Your mom would have had to wait a long time, Andy, because I've got a few years on you, pal. Wow.
I'm only 1 day behind Mark.
1 day behind Mark, yeah.
That's
only on the calendar. But years-wise...
We don't look at dates. What are dates?
What are dates?
They're just numbers.
Pish and tosh. That's it.
The reality is I am 1 day behind you always. The rest of our lives, I will be 1 day behind.
Oh, my goodness, indeed. Indeed. Wow.
We're in Judges.
Yes.
Fantastic book.
Okay.
Lots of encouraging things.
Yes.
In Judges. I really want to talk about the story of Ehud, but we'll get there on another day.
Ehud, okay, yeah.
Anytime you can do left-handed swordsmen's, fantastic. Fantastic, I say.
Wow.
Can you read for me?
Yes.
Judges chapter 2. How about the first, 5 verses or so?
5, yes. The angel of the Lord went up from Gilgal to Bochum and said, I brought you up out of Egypt and led you into the land that I swore to give to your forefathers. I said, I will never break my covenant with you, and you shall not make a covenant with the people of this land, but you shall break down the altars. Yet you have disobeyed me. Why have you done this? Now, therefore, I tell you that I will not drive them out before you. They will be thorns in your sides, and their gods will be a snare to you. When the angel of the Lord had spoken these things to all the Israelites, the people wept aloud, and they called that place Bochum. There they offered sacrifices to the Lord.
So, I found this, again, fascinatingly convicting.
Yes.
When you take this and you go, oh, these poor schmucks. They
Schlubs. Them schlubs.
Poor
yes.
schlub.
Schlubbery. Schmuckery schlubs. It's flummery. Yes.
You look at this and God makes it very clear that he gave them a command. Mm-hmm. I find it interesting that when God gets to the place where he asks a question, like he says, why did you do this? Why have you done this? He's not looking for a response.
Yeah.
He is.
Do not answer that question.
Right. He's basically saying, if I'm asking you this question, why have you done this? Mm-hmm. It's already at the point where I'm going to do something about why you have done this. Mm-hmm. So the first thing that came to my mind was, as Christians, trying to be counterculture, how do we live a lifestyle that avoids these moments as much as possible? How do we live a lifestyle where when God says something, we hear clearly, but we also respond clearly, so we don't get him going, Annie, why didn't you do this? Or why did you do this? Because about the time he asked me that question, he's already decided to do something about why I haven't done it. So it seems to me like one of the ways that we can stand out in our culture is by living a lifestyle where we're not making God have to answer these questions. So what are some tenets, what are some parameters, what are some things, principles that could help those who are listening today, like, I really do want to avoid this?
Well, I think that as I'm looking at this, the angel of the Lord, hopefully God's going to put people in our paths who are going to help us. I was sharing today that with you and Bob for a prayer time that I had prayed about something this morning. Maybe I just shared it with Bob. So if I'm not,
you shared it with me. Yeah.
Yeah, and when one of the other people prayed, it was one of those.
Yep.
I don't want you to do what you've asked me if you want me to do. The answer is no, I don't want you to do that. That's not going to be a good thing. Mm-hmm. Just you keep your eyes on me. You follow me. So I think we need to be what will help us. I think what a part of the problem is, we don't look for prevention. We look for reaction.
Oh.
We're not proactive, we're reactive.
Mm-hmm.
And if we would be more proactive and we would go to the Lord in prayer and say, God, is there something? Am I doing what you want me to do? I want to do what's right today. That's a good thing to do. But also to be listening when God does. God may speak through somebody, and you'll know. You'll be like, oh, my, okay, I guess that's where I'm at. So that crosses my mind as I see this. But
let me stop you right there for a second, because
Yeah.
I think what you just said is super important. It goes with some of the things I've been saying lately, about if we can discount the person, then we discount what they say.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in a moment like you were this morning, and you're praying and you're asking God, the first thing that somebody might ask you is, okay, Pastor Mark, well, why isn't God just going to tell me? Like, tell me while I'm asking him. Why would I have to pay attention the rest of the day and wait for an answer when God could? I'm here, I'm praying, I'm asking. Why doesn't God say, no, Mark, I don't want you to go to that person?
Yeah. And probably, looking back through the morning, just at my time praying, I kind of knew that was the direction he was leading me. It was more like an affirmation. It would help you, Mark, but why don't you talk to me about it, and it'll help you too.
Got it. So a lot of times God is telling us something. Mm-hmm. The affirmation is what we're looking for. Now,
right.
But what would have happened if the person who prayed this, what happens if you are in a mode where you don't like them? Or you discount them, right? Or their position doesn't allow them to talk to you like that, or whatever. Like, we miss out sometimes on God's affirmation because we predetermine who should give it to us.
And so maybe that's the affirmation all the more, as it didn't come the way we expected it or wanted it to. God says, well, I'm going to really make sure you know it's me, because I'm going to let it come through someone who you don't want it to come through necessarily. And when God speaks, any old bush will do, or any old donkey will do. This donkey wasn't a mule; it was probably a donkey.
I like
any old donkey will do.
I like it when you say that.
Balaam's ass. This is what they call it. Balaam's ass. God spoke through it. Wouldn't be the first time.
I have to take what you're saying, but I still get to call you a donkey. I love that.
Okay, you can call me, your donkey. So anyway,
fantastic. I think that this point, like, because you brought this point up, and it's like, this is important. That a lot of times I find myself maybe in a moment where God has to say this, Andy, I like, why did you do this? Mm-hmm. Because I wasn't looking for the message from somewhere else, or when I heard it, the affirmation, I decided, well, that person doesn't count. Right? There's a lot of things that go, like what you said was, I hope that God has sent somebody to tell us. Mm-hmm. So I think that is such an important concept of, are you open and are you ready for God to send somebody to you?
Well, and in my particular context, it was, Lord, is it okay if I go talk to this person? No. Yeah. He's like, yeah, you can. Go ahead. And he probably would have worked through it. And even if, if let's say I still go home and I'm going to talk to him anyway. Let's say the person calls me and we end up talking about it. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a couple ways. Well, maybe God has the person call you as a test. Are you going to talk to him or not? Well, Lord wants me to do it because the Lord says, no, are you going to listen to me or not?
Yep.
Or is God saying, yeah, you kind of missed it, that person. Well, I wasn't saying that about you. That was for someone else, by the way. I do, go ahead and talk to that person, because it would not be, to talk to a person is not against Scripture. We're supposed to go to the people who, if we have an issue with them. But God may say, yes, that I want you to do that, but it's not going to be productive for you or for them.
I love what you said, because I have this discussion frequently, which is, we ask God, can I go talk to this person?
Sometimes it comes out, can I go smite them, Lord?
Right. But what God says, God says, sure you can. But it might not be productive, and it might not be beneficial, and it might not get...
Yeah.
We really need to get into the mode of asking God, do you want me to do this?
Exactly. I know I can.
Right.
Should I?
But we love it. We love it. Okay, Mom, can I have an extra cookie? Yes. Well, when I'm sitting there with a tummy ache, I realize maybe I should have said, Mom, do you want me to have another cookie?
Yeah.
Right?
Or too many green apples, Maybe God
Yes.
lets us feel the pain of it. Says, next time, how about 3 less than you just ate, Yeah.
God doesn't want us to ask if we are able to do something. He wants us to
Right.
ask, do we want him to
Yeah.
be in his will
Yeah.
for that type of thing?
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, what are some other things maybe?
Well, I think here was my other thing I was going to look at. The angels tells them, "Here's how I have worked.
Uh-huh.
You can trust me."
Yep. Yep.
Why? And if we learn that, why do we feel like sometimes we are more scared of people? Well, I've been doing this sin, and if I quit doing this sin, all these people are going to be mad. Or if I tell them something that I didn't tell them, this could really be mad. They could really be mad at me. And then, what if my spouse or what if my kids were mad at me? Have you thought about the God of the universe?
Yeah.
I'd be a little more concerned about that one than people.
Okay, so stop right there and tell me why, because I so agree with you. Why are we that way? Why do we say we serve the God of the universe and we understand all the things about him, but there is no fear?
Yeah.
Have we done that as a Christian
Yes.
culture?
Yeah. We do not have a fear of the Lord. We've denigrated, if that's the right word, the fear of the Lord down to respect.
What's the difference there?
Well, we do need to have a fear of God. This is the God who can say, let's do the Roman thing. You're like that, down or up. And there's no. Well, maybe my other stuff will help me get in. We're called to live a holy life. We are called to wholeness. We are called to perfection, to maturity. Don't get hung up on that. That's what it means. We're called to grow and not just stay in infancy. Paul said, "I can't give you any more because that's all you can handle is milk. I can't give you real food." And so we've forgotten who God is. We've made him our friend, and indeed he is. We've made him our father, but he's more like our Abba, our daddy, which is fine. And maybe that's things we have quit. We reverse things instead of seeing that we're supposed to be like God. We're making God like we want to see him. I want to say it was either Greg Boyd. I think it was Greg Boyd said. Someone said. I've said it enough times I can say I said it. God created man in his own image, and we've been returning the favor ever since. Yeah. So, and understandably, I help people out of this sometimes with their image of God.
Right.
My image of God was always he was waiting for me to mess up so he could pinch my head off. Now, he doesn't want me to mess up so he can pinch my head off. He doesn't want me to mess up because he knows, like, what happens if you eat too many green apples or too many cookies.
Yep.
He doesn't want me to do it. He wants me to enjoy it. In the moment, he goes like, if you eat too many, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be fun anymore. And so, if we can truly understand, and you don't want to ask God to show you why you should fear him, because he won't be happy to show you. But it's a shame to me, and I don't know that I have an answer to your question right now, Andrew. Is how do we help people see these people? I was pondering this day. I got some old friends that I haven't talked to in a while. I thought I probably need to pick up that. I thought, it's not that we're not friends anymore. It's just life has moved us on.
Yep. We're not doing life.
Yeah, we're not doing life together anymore. Right. And so you have the memories, and so sometimes we put so much energy into what people think about us who don't give a rip about us.
Yeah, baby.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And instead of saying, "Wait a minute, God is with me all the time. Why am I not?" And he has done so much for me. Sometimes we give our power away to people that have done nothing for us, that have no significance into us at all. And, and will not remember us, will not remember what we wore, anything like that. Why are we trying to impress people who don't care? And yet here's God who has done so much for us, is there for us constantly. Well, he didn't do this. Okay. Well, that's a chasing the wind or something. But the angel says, look, God has done all these things. You're more afraid of people than you are of me?
Yeah.
I can take you out.
Yep.
I can take you out. And, just as he says here, you're going to go. Matter of fact, Bochum, I looked at in the bottom, I have a note in there. It says it means weepers.
Yeah. Yep.
So here this angel of the Lord, it's a messenger. We don't know that it's a human. It's probably some sort of supernatural being has come to him and said, listen, isn't that enough unto itself?
You would think that would get
That'd
your
be enough
attention.
to say, I'd be, okay, that's an actual angel. Like, I see the wings and I feel the draft or whatever. And that hasn't stirred you up. You say, okay, yep, you're right. We're going to keep weeping here because we're going to be weeping more because we're still not going to do what he says.
So, if I was gonna sum up the idea, would it be fair to say that the Israelites were asked to follow God into the promised land? But by the time we reach this point in their promised land moments, really they have reversed it to demanding that God just follow them.
Yeah.
And that is what gets us into trouble all the time.
Absolutely. Because isn't that what our prayer meetings have turned into?
Absolutely.
It's all about
stamp of
bringing to
approval.
God, here, God, I want you to do this. But we do not seek God. We seek his blessings. We seek his provision and everything else. We are not seeking him. And you know what? I would get tired of that too. If all it was, coming down here and Andy goes, well, here, what can I get from Mark today? But no, it's like that's that relationship we have, is that it's not just it's not what we can get from each other. It's what we bring into what we can bring to the other person as well.
Would it be refreshing to go into a prayer meeting of any people's, right? Any group of people, and to have somebody bring up, hey, we just had a diagnosis of cancer, and have the group of people pray, Lord, we don't know what you're doing. We want you to do your will in this situation, rather than the norm, which is, God, we demand that you heal this person right now.
Right. Yeah. We ask that you would heal them.
Right.
But we're not going to tell you how. It could be in death.
And we don't know what you're doing in this situation.
Right.
The problem is, because we refuse to do the other side, like you've just been talking about, the fear of the Lord, because we refuse to do that, we are not open to the idea that sometimes things could be disciplinary in nature. And we're getting in the way. We actually are praying against what God is doing in some moments. And what a hard place.
I love this one, and this actually happened to me one time. I went up to a hospital guy who was dying of cancer, lung cancer. Had smoked all his life. And his sister and her histrionics, making it, and she was a drama queen, making it about her. I mean, she was grieving for sure, but there was a lot of, she's like, this isn't fair. And God's grace would not let me do it, but I was thinking to myself, why isn't it fair? He drank himself and smoked himself to death. Now, I still was praying God's grace over this person, and
we can pray that this is what we hope
but
for.
But it's like me going to the doctor and saying, Doc, I don't understand why, I'm having trouble with diabetes or something, which sometimes we just get that. I mean, some people are prone to it. I get that. But like, God, I don't understand why I'm putting on all this weight. It's almost because you're eating like a pig. Eat better, and you won't do that. You don't have to eat the whole bag of cookies. Just eat one or two, whatever. And so it's like that. People I've seen churches, they put on the, everything happens for a reason. I saw it one time and said, ellipsis ... and it's sometimes because you made a dumb choice.
Yep.
And
that's certainly the case.
Yes,
right? In this moment,
they keep doing it. They don't learn from it, and they just keep doing it.
Right. When God comes and says, "Why did you?" That's usually, "Why do you keep making this dumb choice?"
Yeah.
And now we're going to do something about it.
Reminds me of a story my friend told me when he was a little kid. His grandfather was out, and there was a hot wire fence, and you're familiar with hot wire fences. and this metal bucket had fallen against the fence. Well, his grandfather reaches down to grab the bucket and he gets shocked, and he keeps reaching for the bucket instead of kicking it away with his boot or something. He keeps getting shocked, and we do the same thing
over and over.
We keep returning to our vomit. Isn't that scriptural? A dog that returns to its vomit.
It's very interesting, the scriptures that we can pull out.
Yes.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. We're going to come back and ask part two, second question that has to do with the section, right as soon as we give you a break to chew on this.
Grace and peace.